Moo and welcome to the Pinktron. I'm joined today by Stef John. Stef, what are you drinking?
Well, I have to commit to the debate and keep the shareholders pleased. So another Fanta. It's a bit of a pressure because I feel have the feeling I have to buy Fanta, otherwise stocks in Belgium will implode, or Steve will rapidly selling his shares into Fanta Lemon.
Okay, we also have John Keenan. John, what are you drinking?
I grabbed a sugar-free ginger ale for today. Mix it up.
And I am Craig Martin, and I have an Incredible Athletes Juicy IPA.
Nice curling logo on the can there. I like it.
Yeah. So, you know, curling, I got no greasy transition. We've got
Yeah,
Scotland Smash in HSRL.
curling stones come from Scotland.
They
That's the
do.
transition.
Ilsa Craig, for those
Yeah.
looking for a bit of trivia. But they all come from Ilsa Craig, the one little island. So, yeah, Scotland Smash, that is a heck of a HSRL route, even if it's not overly long. It
It
feels long by
sure
the
is.
end.
It sure was.
Yeah. But yeah, so straight line out of the pens, right into champion sprint, around, right up Clyde Kicker, around the Glasgow crit to champion sprint again, and then out we go to breakaway Bray, and then back in one more Clyde Kicker, champion sprint again, and then out to the lock loop banner to finish. Right? Yes.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
lock loop banner
Yes, it is.
finish. I was at the
Yeah.
champions.
No. Stampton sprint was 3 kilometers from the finish still.
Okay.
Yeah. I would say that last 3K feels real long.
Yeah. I mean,
Especially,
the first
especially
lap must have
like
been crazy, right?
it was, uh, but into true HSRL style, it was hammer the primes, and especially can only talk for the C's between segments. It's mellowed down
Okay.
and it's kicked up again when a sprint's happening, but you could see it even. The first three went okay. Okay, then you had that long breather till breakaway break. Even you did punch up a bit on the corkscrew climb, but it wasn't like a pure scratch race when everyone went nuts. Just still
Hmm.
5 watts per kilo, but just keeping the pace up, and then breakaway break. And yeah, I was doing okay in. I think after those 3 segments and breakaway break, we were left with a group of 20 people. I was top 12, 13 in FTS, but then I got a bit too cocky on second Clyde kicker. Was a bit too far, tail running a bit too far off the back, and didn't have the punch to get back into the group. So we lost contact with the group, and then it became a lone few kilometers. So yeah, was doing okay on FTS, but lost a lot of points on FTS. But yeah, it was a good race, some good hurt representation. Also ATR, big battle. ATR hurt at the front. Andy Kroll, Robert MacArthur, Anders Kval, Mario Line. Couple of fellow hammerheads with Simon Porter and Hugh Shepard, and also Ernst was in the race, but behind me. So yeah, good turn up.
Okay, good stuff. Yeah, I can see how that can happen on Clyde Kicker. It's so tempting to try and get behind to get that second or whatever, but then especially it's the first part of that segment that's draftable. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, that's where you can get into trouble on that one.
Yeah, should have just been because, like I said, I was 12, 13, so top of the mid bottom half. So I should have just stayed within the group or the front group and see where it ended. And I would stayed with the group. Maybe lost a few points on FTS, but I would have gained more on FAL. But yeah, at the finish, would have probably it broke after that into two groups, but probably with I was on by my own most of that last after the Clyde kicker. So yeah,
Yeah. No, because yeah. On that one, I find I want to get to the back of the group, but not really much out of the draft, and then go before the start of the segment.
yeah,
To me, yeah, it's more about and then be up to speed, like be up to speed before you hit the steep part,
yeah,
and then hang on up the steep part.
And then ideally still be in the draft once it pitches down steeply so that you can take advantage of that. After
Uh
you make a turn after the banner and it kind of goes
oh
down, you
yeah.
pick up
Well, I mean,
speed really quickly.
yeah, you can't be off the back there. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm Is I don't know. I do pretty well in that segment. I'm usually waiting for people there, but
Mm. I feel like if I push a little harder, I can sometimes hang on to a group, but it really depends on how strong the group is and how motivated they are. So,
yeah. So anyway, that's a terrific HSRL race. Get out and do it.
it's a
And
good one to
yeah,
kick the series, the points part of it off for sure.
yeah,
Lots of points,
Yeah,
lots of things.
yeah, lots of points, and especially that first 3K, and it's yeah, like I said, it's the race one. Usually it's nicely set, and yeah, it's lots of big hitters, but people who know the game, so lots of sprinting. So you have lots of draft. So ideally for FTS. Yeah, I was talking with a few. We had a few people on Discord. Talking with my teammate Simon. Yeah, and there were a few people that went off the usual suspects that went off the front. We treat it like a scratch race. Also, the
Mm.
usual. I think after we did the first loop of Glasgow Grid, so we did three segments already, three spins already. Somebody asked, "Is this a points race?" The natural thing.
Yeah. Well,
oh man, sorry, I'm looking at the bees now. That's a 5 rubies. That's a bee field.
Yeah.
But yeah, with
I think we started with 46 so on in game with on the right side with the scoring, and eventually 32 people in C that finished in race according to Velo. So yeah.
yeah, no, looked like fun.
Yeah, it was good fun. It's always fun. Have a big group, knowing the majority of that group. You see it every time we were a group with 20, but I think 75 to 90% of that group knew what's going on. So, or the people that didn't know, so
Yeah.
our people are going, so I probably should be going as well. So I did had my misfortune with the power ups. It was uh, draft fan and arrow, and I got a lot of draft fans, which is the
Yeah, it's
baddest
fine.
the baddest the baddest power up, but yeah. So
Seems
you
like
have
it lasts
to
longer than the others, which is nice if you
yeah,
need
it's
it.
true, but yeah, but you have to. It's a different. How do you say it? When to apply it because it's yeah usually
Yeah, you
used
got to be near people. You got to be behind people. Yeah.
Yeah.
behind people or when also with the arrow you use it to go through the field, but with the arrow you want to have as much people in front of you as long as possible, but still do good in the segment. So it's balancing. But yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, you get also with the lots of preems, you get lots of power ups. I think 3 at the first segment, then you get that lock loop banner, another freebie, yeah, and then the segments and lock loop banner are the. Apparently, I set my 19-day best 15-second power PB. So
Oh,
that's good.
it's the
Uh,
beginning of points racing
it
season.
probably it probably should. I think it still needs. I think it's still on live data because my 15-second power is 1 watts per kilo higher than my 5-second power. So
Hmm.
it doesn't have mathematically add up.
Yeah, I didn't do the race last week. I see my punches down about almost 20% from last summer this time.
Yeah.
Last spring.
Oh, I wonder where mine is. I don't think I'm at 100 at the moment.
I was nowhere near 100, but
No,
yeah.
98. I'm down to 98. So
98. All right.
see if I can get back up to 100.
Yeah. Couple good sprints, couple hard efforts. Be right there.
So, yep. So that's HSRL.
Yeah,
We've
yeah,
got
give it a go.
what, 5 more races over the weekend. So
Yeah,
let's get at her. Herd beginner racing this week is
on two Bridges Loop. The two lowest pans, so below 205, because they changed the bands up scoring wise a bit. It's below 205 ZRS are do 2 laps, and above you do 3 laps of two Bridges Loop. So good beginner course. Lots of rolling at the start. The majority of the lap, and then at the end of each lap, you have the steep section of the start of hilly reverse, but you cut across, go down the bypass. So yeah,
yep. Yeah, that's a great little race course. I like that one. So okay, there's that. And yeah, so I guess I didn't get on to so we didn't find numbers for the America's East time slot, whatever pasta or dessert or whatever Dirt is using for the time slots this series. So I am not DRSing.
Mhm.
I know Steve is with the dirt with his dirt team.
Yep.
So yeah,
Yep. No, that's good.
and ZRL finished I think last week. I can't remember because I
It did.
don't
Yeah.
do
Yep.
ZRL. So
No, it was okay. Yeah, we ended up with only 2 in our team for the last race, so that was disappointing.
uh,
That is an emblematic of warmer weather in the northern
It really
hemisphere.
is. Yeah. DJ won the race. I think I was 20th ish, maybe. Uh, yeah, I think I was 20 something with the points, but there were only the two of us, so that was unfortunate.
Yeah, that is too bad. It's getting into the nicer weather, people just start to wander off.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that's fine.
yeah,
Yeah.
especially because I had set the milestone for this year because I'd done a couple of imperial centuries the last few years, so I had a goal of doing a double metric, so a 200K, and I ended up doing it. I think 2 weeks ago. Ended up doing it, doing a 203-kilometer ride. Didn't really intend it to begin with. I was intending to do like a 150, 50 to 160K and see from there. It was then a big town. I reached a big town, and there I could see if the legs were good, I could continue. If I was done, I could take the train home. So, but legs felt good, although the last 40K was a bit rough with because I was nearing the coast, so lots of headwind and fatigue setting in. But I managed to do it still with I think just under 24 kilometer per hour average. So as a solo rider, so pretty decent.
Congrats. Yeah. About what's your goal for the end of the year then? 300?
Uh, maybe not that.
I mean, you kind
Maybe
of you
not
popped this
that.
one pretty early, so you got
Yeah.
time there.
Well, I can still not maybe distance, but make it a bit tougher on the elevation part because
Oh yeah.
yeah, it was about 750 meters of elevation, which was way. I think my Garmin predicted a third of that, so
Yeah.
gets to show how big the Garmin calculation is in terms of elevation prediction. But yeah,
I mean, there's
probably in the summer.
a robust group of folks in this area that do the randonneuring. So they start off with 100K, and then they do a 200 and then a 300, and they just build it up all summer. And I think their big race is what, Paris-Brest Paris, which is like
Yeah,
1200K, something like that.
yeah, yeah. It's one of the big ones. Yeah, one of the former my former ladder team, the Speedy Squirrels. Well, it's called. It's probably has a normal name. He's Derby Paul because Paul from Derby, England, England. But he's big into the Audax randonneur stuff, so he does regularly 200 plus K rides. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's one. What's the one in England? Is it London, Edinburgh, London? Sometime in
No, I don't know.
summer. Yeah.
Yeah, and
A
they have some big.
lot of time in the saddle. A lot of time in
Yeah,
the
they have
saddle.
some. Yeah, and they have also some big sportives. And no, this weekend it's not distance-wise, it's not much, but still elevation-wise, it's a classic in England. The Frat Whitten, it's about I think 180K, but close to 4,000 meters of elevation. And then I think you have
Ooh.
the in Wales you have the dragon ride, which is also I think that's above 200 to 50 k's plus, but and also lots of elevation. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we got sidetracked.
No,
That's
we're talking
okay.
about outdoor riding, which is sort of
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the topic in the news. I guess it's the one of the recommendations now on your companion app is go ride outside. Quit riding. You've been riding on Zwift too much. Get your butt outside and touch some grass.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Well, well, for me, it still shows courses on Zwift, but apparently Marjolein got some recommendation to ride outside, and her feedback was it seems a bit more logical than what they were suggesting for workouts on Zwift, so on Zwift itself. So
Hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, just looking at a couple of the examples I've seen, screenshotted, it does look like they're simpler recommendations, which are probably part of why it makes more sense. Like all
uh,
my big complaint about the workouts in the Zwift libraries are that they're way overcomplicated, and you're doing all kinds of a short interval of this and then a long one of this, then a short of this, and
Then
it
you change your cadence and then you're,
yeah.
yeah.
So there's so many of the workouts are trying to do a little bit of everything as opposed
That's
to
too.
yeah,
I think somebody called it too much rainbow colored
yeah,
dingus. So I think it's one of the hardest workouts, the Gorby, which is basically I think five sets of 5 minutes at VO2 max, but it's that kind of dose and
yeah,
typical like for your sprints of 15:30s or 40:20,
yeah,
just simple workouts. Just have a couple of simple whatever you do. If you want to do 3 minutes, just do X amount by things and a variation of recovery time, and that's it. So usually, that's the most simple to do.
yeah. So like one of mine is repeats of 2 minutes at 120%. As it, like the Gorby is 5 minutes at 110. And it's the same thing. So I use 2 minutes at 120 with 2 minutes rest at high zone two. And they're they're low zone one recovery, but it's 5 minutes on, 5 minutes recovery. So yeah,
Yeah.
those are classic workouts that hit that one thing you're trying to train. And I I just like them better.
Yeah, it's you can focus more if you, like you said, if you want to sprint workout or if you want to test your micro bursts, you have micro bursts or the typical, like I said, 15:15:15s, 15:30s, variation of short, punchy efforts with some recovery, and you can do it double or at the same time to make it harder or easier on yourself, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you make it too complicated, it's like pyramid style, or you have zone to go down in the levels. It gets a bit complicated, and then, like John said, adding the cadence variation it becomes sometimes a bit too overcomplicated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
Yep.
wanted a zone two ride the other day, and so I just picked one that was close, and then I just used my play controllers to bodge it to where I wanted it to be, and then it's like it bumped me up, and I'm like, nope, nope, going down now.
Yeah.
And just sort of feathered it to where I wanted it. But it's
Yeah.
also good to keep me honest. And I mean, if I was just riding around on my own, I felt like I would have been sort of zone one maybe, or maybe a little high zone one, but I probably wouldn't have just pushed it quite so hard. So I find them useful
Yeah,
at times. But yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I think so too. If free riding is good for having that feel, but if you want a specific target, a specific zone erg mode is quite handy, and you can have like if you want to do a zone two workout, just put in I don't know 3 hours of a zone two workout, and you can see how far you can stay. If you want to just do an hour,
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
do that or whatever.
Yeah. No, that's good. So also, oh no, we talked about the profile page last week, didn't we? Yes.
Yeah.
And that was nonsense. Okay. Um,
Well, it's a not it's a good start, but because they do it scratch race, but finishing point wise, it's broke everything that's not a scratch race basically in terms of
oh no,
results.
it's worse than that, Steph.
Okay,
I
okay,
went back at old HWR results and they were completely broken. So
okay. Never
yeah,
mind.
or not completely broken, but I think it was bunch sprints just turn into massive ties and things like that if they're more than a certain amount old. And like, I don't understand why. The data's there. It's in Zwift Power. So yeah, there's something really weird, and it just
Oh,
isn't
and
working.
and and even if it's in Zwift Power, it still should be in Zwift with even if it's a 100th or 1/10 of a second, it should still register. It's way back in with the Zwift results. So yeah,
Yep.
it's a bit weird.
So anyway,
Like you said last time, 17 steps backwards.
yeah. Anyway, it's what it is. So that's that. Um, so I guess yeah, what's the
Well, tying in with the outside riding recommendations, we were
yeah,
talking about how to do an outside ride if you don't have power pedals. So are you just sort of going off, I guess, heart rate stuff? You mentioned that in the
yep,
pre-recording chat. You could sort of check your heart rate, and if you know your basics zones for your heart rate, you can kind of keep an eye on that.
yep,
Uh, or you can use relative perceived effort, and I guess that's kind of interesting to me from an outdoor riding perspective, because I think I've used it in running a bit, but not I haven't ridden outside for training that much.
yeah. So yeah, and I guess I pulled back to my running days because I was much better at training when I was running than I am now.
Hmm.
Um, and we didn't get a Matt chime in, which I was hoping for before we recorded. Um, I definitely found when I was running, I did not race with a GPS watch, and that was, I mean, at the time it was kind of, is this legal or not, as well as
Oh, really?
well
Oh,
as yeah,
they,
I did my running a while ago.
yeah, yeah. I mean, the GPS watches were new enough that people were like, I don't know about this.
Yeah, so
Oh.
um, some of my races I wore them and some I didn't, but I never really paid attention to them. Um, when I was using running my Timex Ironman or whatever, um,
Hmm.
I hit my lap button when I went past kilometer marks. If
Right.
I saw them and remembered, sometimes I didn't, and then I just have
Hmm.
a 2 kilometer segment in
A
the
two
middle.
kilometer lap. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it was I definitely hit times that I would not have if I was racing off of pace
Hmm.
because well, I hit a PB of over 30 seconds in the 10K during a half marathon.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, my the half marathon PB was by several minutes, but
Right. So it compounded. Okay.
yeah, so no, it was good, but it was just that day it felt so good because
Hmm.
I thought that was one that I was running with the Timex, I think, because I remember hitting the lap, looking at my watch at the 5K mark, like, oh, haven't run a 5K that fast in a couple of years.
Oh, nice. Nice.
I said that out loud, and the guy next to me said, good luck, buddy.
We got a lot of race to go.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
but I think it's a bit also so how you approach it. You have the typical what we have in professional cyclists with the biggest example of it, Chris Froome just staring non-stop at his watch as its data. But I also watch some the US Crit Team videos with NorCal or some of those guys, and you have then people who still have a bike computer. They press start at the start of the race, but put their head unit into their back pocket, so they just I think race on feel. Yeah, like I said, I ride a lot of outside, but I have power. I don't have power pedals, but I have a power meter in my bottom bracket. But don't tend to use it, uh, uh, especially during my endurance rides. Don't pay attention too much with even heart rate. Just go on and feel how I feel, and afterwards look. Oh, it's okay, it's mostly zone 2 or whatever, or zone 1, but just don't feel. The only time when I find it useful is just if I wanted specific intervals, I can do them. If there's an hill and I just want to do, like I said, 3 minute efforts, then you can use the LED button as as a training tool. But yeah,
So, I mean, back when I was first running with GPS 20 some years ago, I used it as I would look at it more on my easy runs, but it was as a speed limit, not as a I'm trying to speed
Oh
up
yeah.
to hit it. It was,
Oh
oh,
yeah.
that's too fast, I'm slowing down. And
Right.
it was never the other direction. It was never like, oh, I should speed up. It was that's too fast, I'm slowing down. Because I always
I've
said,
had it both. I've had a lot of, yeah, the easy
yeah,
rides, easy runs. I'm overclocking and I
yeah,
have to pull it back. And then I've also had it where it wants me to do a 1 minute full effort interval at, you know, something that's just on the edge of my capability, and it's beeping at me saying, "You're almost there."
yeah,
Which is good. I mean, that's the
yeah,
purpose of that workout. Yeah, I really liked it. I mean, I came to running late, just in the last couple of years, really, and I think the GPS watches, like, it just made it so easy, right? It just records everything for you. You can look at it
yep,
after, you can look at it while you are running and meter yourself appropriately.
yep,
Um, but I don't know that I look at, like, when I'm racing on Zwift, now that I think about it, I'm looking at how far is the person in front of me or the group in front of me and who's behind me and how big's that group and how far are they?
yep.
And am I going to try to catch? Am I going to, like, I don't know that I really look at the power output or the any of those stats at all other than
I'd say the only time I do is on longer climbs, especially
yeah,
if I'm
yes.
planning an attack on a longer climb,
yeah.
Yeah.
which has not been made
Or
many times, but um, the
Yeah, I think I did it
yeah,
more in the Climber's Gambit series where I would map it out ahead of time and I'd write on a little sticky note, right?
yeah,
It's
yeah,
the volcano and
yeah,
here's my personal best time and here's my wattage target. And so then I can
yeah,
kind of pace it at the beginning and get a feel for, all right, what does that wattage feel like? And then, right, you still vary it a little because there's the variation in the incline and little flat
yeah,
sections and whatnot. But
yeah.
yeah,
But that's indeed a time how you're trying to pace it at a certain wattage. Yeah, in the races sometimes it's more of a glance that you look up for sometimes at the average or see you just if you're suffering and see okay um that's my average wattage or whatever, or sometimes you glance for segment that go that far. But yeah, I also have at the bottom my WT prime. Yes, that's
yeah.
sometimes
mm,
to see if I'm, how far. I think after segment 4, I was at around 4ish out of the 17. But yeah, it's more like I said, in the races, you tend to race more on, especially these HSRLs more on field. You just know you have to go hard at the primes, and it mellows down at between segments. So yeah,
Yep. Yeah. But yeah, I can definitely remember times where it's like, okay, I'm going to ride with the group, however fast the group goes until here, and then I'm going to X, whatever it is. So,
oh, okay.
5 minutes at 300 or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I guess you're right, Steph. Like the Climber's Gambit series was essentially a segment time trial, and
Yeah.
so in a time trial, you've got a simple target you're hitting. You don't have any of the dynamics of you're trying to catch the group in front of you for their
No.
draft, or you're just gonna soft pedal it and let the group of 20 people behind you come catch because there's no way you're gonna hold them off.
But I guess that's where the perceived effort, and that's the leaving room for overperforming. Um, So that's that, I feel really good. I think I can go harder. And you blow your
Yeah,
target out of the water. So,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And I've been doing a lot of non-bike racing lately, and I think that the adrenaline definitely gets flooded in.
Yep.
Um, and so,
So there's two pieces to that.
right,
There's the ability to overperform, perhaps, but there's also the tendency to go too hard too early and get blown up.
right, right. I've been doing short, sort of 8-minute pieces, 7.5-minute pieces. So you don't have a lot of time to,
You can still blow up in an 8 minute
you
race.
can't blow up, but it's, yeah, yeah. And
You
it's
can blow up
it's
in a 30-second race.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I feel like when I'm out on a run, just a training run, I just did one for the first time in like 5 weeks, yesterday or no, day before. And I was going up a hill at the beginning of it, right? So I'm not really warmed up. I'm going up a hill. I'm trying to keep the pace up. And I was just like, oh, this feels really hard. What's going on? And what I look at on my watch is my heart rate. I'm like, oh, that's why I don't feel good. My heart rate is there. I have no idea what my
Yeah.
pace was, which is kind of irrelevant because I'm going up a hill and I'm not warmed up. So sort of, I was mostly like, oh no, heart rate's way too high. We're gonna dial this back. This is the first run in almost 5 weeks. I need to like, I'm just gonna run. I'm not gonna set any records here.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
RPE was bad, but or it was high, and the heart rate
Yeah.
just showed. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. And you were just going too hard. And
I was going too hard, too early, too yeah.
yeah.
yeah, but it's sometimes interesting to see because you get to feel like the rates RPE. It kind of matches because so I was in a race and I was thinking from, oh, I'm starting to feel getting tired. It's getting harder. I just looked up at the top left and see, oh, it's about 175. Okay, that's over my technical calculated lactate threshold heart rate. So understandable that I'm feeling
Right.
that. But sometimes it's weird. You feel exhausted, and you see it's well below, a bit below your lactate threshold, and you're thinking, okay, maybe I've just have a bad day, and my heart rate isn't computing with
Yeah,
it
over the winter, I was
completely.
doing workouts on the rowing machine, and I would use my Garmin to connect and show my heart rate on the machine. And I think Garmin's just drunk sometimes. It'd show me at like a zone two, heart rate. I'm like, nope, this is not zone two. This
Yeah.
feels awful. Like,
Yeah.
It
it's
it
I
also
find
and then
depends.
that.
4 minutes later, it jumps up and it's like, oh yeah, you're way up here, aren't you?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I've been there a long time. Thanks for catching.
Yeah. I've learned that because I switched for a while to my Garmin smartwatch as my heart rate monitor. But you see, I see it in every Zwift ride. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes to get to the actual world heart rate. And if you're
Yeah,
in a
yeah.
race, half your race heart rate data is useless because
Yeah, I should have
you
brought a
know
proper heart rate monitor because it was this.
yeah, for
It became
now,
a
maybe
joke. Like,
my with this race, probably my height rate was spiked straight away with those three segments, and my if I broadcast it on my via my smartwatch, it was saying, oh, your lows maybe high zone one, low zone two. No, I'm
right,
definitely around my above my threshold, probably.
right. And then I don't even understand what that's about because it's not like a cadence lock for running. I mean, I could see like, okay, if you're swinging your arms at whatever 170 steps per minute, like it's gonna be bouncing around on your wrist, but it doesn't make sense to me that it's like, yeah, no, it's like 80. Your heart rate's 80 or 85. It's like, oh no, no, sorry. It's twice that. Like
Oh,
I don't know.
that's funny,
And then it
John.
would
Like
catch up
my
and 20 minutes into the run or the workout, it'd be fine. But like it would just not it's like it wasn't ready for me to be working out or something. I don't know what was going on.
That's really funny, John. I don't get that with the heart rate at all. What I will get is sometimes it seems like it clips the very like hard
Oh,
efforts. It'll not get quite as high.
okay.
I don't, what you're talking about, I used to get that with the old chest straps.
The chest straps.
And,
Oh,
but so I used to get that until like it would show a fairly low heart rate and then it would jump up.
and they'd
And
be
I
like,
think
"Oh
it
no,
was
you're
when
working out."
I think it
Yeah.
was finally when I hit, when I got enough sweat on it that it was conducting properly.
Oh, yeah, yeah. That would make a little bit of
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
So that was always my theory on that. But yeah, I know I've never had anything similar with the watch. So that's funny.
Yeah, it was pretty
Yeah,
consistent. It would be like the first, you do like a 10-minute warm up and it'd sort of track okay there. And then you do, let's say, an 8-minute hard workout. And it'd take 4 or 5 minutes to sort of catch up and realize, oh no, wait, you're working out hard. And then it'd go high. And then it would pretty much track the rest of the day. Like you'd do five
Yeah.
minutes of rest and 8 minutes of work and whatever it is. And it would generally seem accurate. But yeah, that first hard effort, it's like it was napping and not really watching what you were doing.
That's funny.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. For instance, I was just looking at my intervals, and it starts because the race only starts when you're almost close to the start of the champion sprint. My heart rate was up at 153, and like my max is around, like I said, my like the threshold heart rate is around 172. So yeah, and I hit that after the third sprint and got up to like the 180s at a certain point. So yeah, the chest strap is definitely for race for capturing the heart rate of an entire race more correctly than the smartwatch when it's just does whatever for the first 10 minutes and then it says, "Oh well, I think that's your correct heart rate."
Yeah. I don't know if it's doing more sampling as the time goes on or what. Yeah, I don't know what the issue is.
Yeah, I've heard that because it's on your wrist, it takes maybe a little longer for your actual heart rate to register. But 10 minutes seems a bit much. But
yeah, weird.
My
Um,
inability to do math is similar, right? It sort of degrades with time.
yeah.
It's okay early in the race, and then somewhere in the middle, it's like no, I can't do that math right now. Sorry.
Okay. Well, I think I think we're getting there. I think I will be likely away next week as I'm off on a BMX practice race adventure.
Enjoy. That sounds like quite the adventure.
Yeah, so try and hit 5 or 6 tracks next week, and
Cool.
yeah, so that's good. Any big plans for anyone else? No.
Now, a
not
little bit of
really.
traveling here and there, getting ready
Yeah.
for rowing regional stuff in end of June. It's got a
Oh,
few
good.
weeks
Yeah.
head around it.
Well, I my year goal distance goal already, so I have to now think about some like the John said, maybe about something else to have a second goal for the year for during the summer. So I have
Yeah.
to rethink it.
Sounds like the Alps are in your future, Steph.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, enjoy your races this weekend. Thank you to John Keenan. Thank you, Stef John. Thank you to all of you for racing with the herd. Moo and good night.
The Pink Tehran podcast is a production of the Herd Racing League. All nonsense is our own. Thank you to Gavin Ions for the theme music. Moo and Ride On.